Well, imagine getting an email from a friend who says they're overseas and they need your help. It usually ends up in the spam folder, but not this time around. A Schuyler County native claims he was beaten into confessing a crime he didn't commit. Now he needs help. Adam Foster of Watkins Glen is a traveling engineer, and he was working in the United Arab Emirates at the time of his arrest. He says he found a pair of handcuffs and decided to bring them home as a souvenir. When he got to the airport, he was pulled off the plane and accused of stealing them. Now Adam faces up to 7 years in a Dubai prison. We reached him in a Dubai hotel while out on bail, waiting for his hearing.
They found them, told me I stole them, whipped me, threw me in jail, and they beat me till I confessed that I took them, which isn't true.
Family and friends have called elected officials and started a letter-writing campaign through a Facebook group called Free Foster. Congressman Tom Reed is encouraging people to write letters of support, and addresses are in this story on WENY.com if you'd like to help.
The verdict for the Schuyler County native stuck in the United Arab Emirates won't come until late next week. Yesterday, we reported Adam Foster was scheduled to go on trial after he says he was accused of stealing handcuffs he found on the street. Foster says he was arrested, beaten, and coerced into signing a confession for a crime he didn't commit. On his Facebook page today, he posted that today's court appearance lasted about 20 minutes and he couldn't understand what was happening because it was in Arabic. The judge set a date of May 19th for a verdict. Meanwhile, a grassroots congressional letter-writing campaign is underway, calling for Adam's release and return to the Southern Tier. For more information, visit WENY.com.
Bloody and purple and green. It was horrible.
Adam Foster describes the whipping that forced him to confess he stole handcuffs, a crime he denies, while waiting to learn his fate from a judge in the United Arab Emirates. After 15 minutes of torture, the Schuyler County native signed the confession now being used against him in court. Good evening, I'm Renata Steele.
I'm Scott Cook. Thanks for choosing Twin Tiers tonight. It's been months now. Since late February, Adam Foster's been beaten, jailed, had his passport taken, and has been put on trial for something he says he never did.
Accused of stealing handcuffs, Adam went in front of a judge yesterday. His lawyer pleaded his case and was told a verdict will come next week. WENY TV's Joe Murillo used Skype to talk to Adam face-to-face today and joins us live now in the studio with the story. Joe?
Renata, it's like a scene from a movie. Adam said they took off his shoes and started whipping the bottom of his feet relentlessly.
They sat me down in the chair, made me put my feet up on the chair in front of me. You know, took my shoes and socks off. I was handcuffed behind my back, and they went to town on the bottom of my feet.
The whipping continued for 15 minutes.
I tried to, think, well, maybe if I can take this for a little bit longer, they will realize I didn't take them and stop. And it wasn't stopping. It wasn't subsiding. It wasn't getting softer. So yeah, I would have confessed to anything they put in front of me.
That forced confession was used to charge him with theft. And yesterday in court, not able to understand a word being spoken, Adam had no idea how the day would end.
Yeah, I was really nervous and really scared going in there because I thought at any moment I'd go in there, get called up, and 5 minutes later I'd be in jail for 7 years. I was petrified.
The judge will rule on the case next week. Until then, all Adam can do is sit and wait.
I don't know. I'm scared, to tell you the truth. I don't know what's going to happen, and pretty much every waking moment has been completely consumed by me not wanting to go away for 7 years for something I didn't do.
Now, if you would like to help, you can write a letter to the UAE Embassy in D.C. and the U.S. Department of State. The information is on this story at WENY.com. Live in the studio, Joe Murillo, WENY TV News.
But first, an update on the Schuyler County native detained in Dubai for a crime he says he didn't commit. Adam Foster of Burdett shared this picture with us, taken while he was being held in a jail cell in Dubai. Adam tells us several of the men you see in that picture, kept in that tiny space, had been there for days, handcuffed to each other. And as we've been reporting, Adam was arrested in February, accused of stealing a pair of police handcuffs he says he found on the ground. Now, Adam says interrogators whipped him until he confessed. He appeared before a judge this week and should learn the verdict by next Thursday. If convicted, Adam faces up to 7 years in a Dubai prison. But first, the latest on a story we first told you about last week. The Burdett native Adam Foster remains stuck in Dubai after his passport was confiscated.
United Arab Emirates police accuse Foster of stealing handcuffs, and his sentencing is tomorrow. WENY TV's Walter Smith-Randolph spoke with Adam via Skype today and joins us live now in the studio with the latest. Walter.
Scott and Renata, in just 6 hours, a judge will hand down Adam's sentence. He's facing 2 to 7 years in a United Arab Emirates prison. Help Adam Foster, a Facebook group supporting Adam's return to the U.S., now has over 1,800 members. People have written letters to the American embassy in the United Arab Emirates in an effort to bring Adam back home. But his fate is unknown, and the clock is ticking as Adam awaits his verdict.
I'm hoping for the best, you know. I'm hoping I go in there, and with all the support I've had back home, they'll just want me to get out of there and stop all the bad publicity that Dubai is getting right now. That's what I'm really hoping for, but it's hard to be optimistic, you know.
Adam says he's very thankful for the support. He says even if he does spend some time in jail, he knows he won't be alone because he has a lot of support here in the Southern Tier. Reporting live in the studio, Walter Smith-Randolph, WNY TV News.
You know, Walter's also been following the story of the Schuyler County native facing jail time in the United Arab Emirates. And 30-year-old Adam Foster learned his sentence today, and his parents are reacting only right here.
Walter talked to Don and Jeanette Foster today and joins us live in the studio. It's a story you'll see only here on WENY TV News. Now, Walter, Adam's going to jail, but it could have been worse, right?
Much worse, Renata. A Dubai judge sentenced 30-year-old Adam Foster to 30 days in prison for, quote, finding and keeping a pair of police handcuffs. The original charge of stealing the handcuffs could have sent Adam to prison for 2 to 7 years. As we've been reporting, Adam says he was beaten until he confessed to stealing the handcuffs, which he says he found and decided to bring home as a souvenir. His parents say they're scared but hopeful because the end is in sight.
It's so scary. Yeah. That's why we fear for Adam's life. We don't know what they're saying. We don't know what they're going to do. We've got to spread the word about how scary it is over there, and we've got to get him home, and that's the kind of support we need. But we can't let him be forgotten because that's when we're scared.
The 4 days Adam already spent in jail count towards his 30-day sentence. Adam may be able to get his sentence shortened for good behavior. Reporting live in the studio, Walter Smith-Randolph, WNY TV News.
After weeks in a Dubai prison, Schuyler County native Adam Foster is a free man. Adam posted on his Facebook page today he's been released from jail and can return to the U.S. as soon as he gets his passport back. Foster spent more than 2 weeks in jail after a judge found him guilty of, quote, finding and keeping a pair of police handcuffs. Foster was arrested in February after he says he found the handcuffs on the ground and decided to keep them as a souvenir. He faced up to 7 years in prison, but now says he could be back in the Southern Tier as soon as this weekend. Thank you, Walter. Schuyler County native Adam Foster may be out of a Dubai prison, but he's hit another snag in his attempt to return to the U.S. Foster was released from jail yesterday and says he got his passport back earlier today. However, he says while going through immigration, he was stopped at the airport and told his name is on a no-fly list. Foster says he's been in contact with the embassy and is working to get the proper paperwork cleared so he can come home. As we've reported, Foster was arrested in February and accused of stealing a pair of police handcuffs. Last month, he was sentenced to 30 days in prison but was released after serving about 2 weeks.